So y'all know, I don't know how far y'all are out there in the YouTube streets and the social media streets and just knowing what's going on in the culture and all that stuff. There's this doctor, right? I think he's a real doctor, but I'm just gonna use air quotes, like in education, not medical. So Dr. Umar, right? A lot has been coming out about him lately because most people are realizing now that he's a scam, right? So many. But so like he has this school and he's been scamming people for years, probably like 14 years, to give to the school, to support the school. Basically, people have just been sending him money and all kind of stuff, right? In hopes that he's going to build this school that is supposed to cater to black boys and teach black boys, right? Now, I don't know. I don't even remember like when it was, but like I noticed that there was some good characteristics, good qualities about this Dr. Umar guy, right? But I also noticed that there was this spirit, and it's the same spirit that a lot of these religious narcissists have. And if you are not like someone who has studied it or either been around them to start picking up those patterns, your discernment is not at a level it needs to be where you start to pick up on these patterns and notice these characteristics in these people, then you probably didn't notice. And you probably thinking, this is a good thing. This is just a guy who just wants to build a school and wants to help black boys, and our black boys need help, and he's a black man and he's educated and he wants to do it. And so you look at it and you think, what could be the harm in it? Like it seems like it's all legit. It seems like he has good intentions. He wants to do the right thing. Okay, cue in my father, the exact same spirit. So you got to think I think now we've gotten to the place in narcissism where we're realizing like this is like heavily spiritual. Like this is going to be a dichotomy to everything, right? So there's going to be like the natural side of narcissism, right? These natural characteristics and qualities that you see in these people. And there's also going to be the spiritual side where you notice that there's like a demonic influence and there's like this same spirit that is on these people, right? Cue in my father, Dr. Umar. Tell me why that is the same spirit. Same spirit. My father has a school too. He has a school too, y'all. He has a school in Gadsden right now. In fact, that school was the reason why the church was completely dismantled. Starting with mine and my husband's departure. Because we were like, this is it. This is it for us. This is the last straw. This is it. Because what? You can't have that spirit. You can't have that spirit and then put yourself in position to educate all of these youth, all of these souls, all of these people that do not know who and what you are. Listen, my father has 5 kids, right? 4 biologicals, but all 5 he raised, right? He and my mom raised us. Okay? Now, if you are looking at someone to educate your kids, teach your kids, own a school, preach to you, own a church, right? Call themselves a pastor, teacher, or a God-made counselor, don't you think it would behoove you to at least look at his fruit? At least look at his own kids. At least look at what he's done. To me, that's one of the basic discernment things, is just to do a little research, just look at it. Just look at the situation. He has 5 kids. Now, the one that my father elevates the most and the one that you're going to see the most is me. Because I was the kid who made him look good. I made him look like he had it all together. I made him look like he was a good pastor, a good father. He's a good teacher. Look at his daughter. She got 2 master's degrees. She's a retired captain in the military. So surely this man is qualified to have a school, to have a church, to call himself a pastor, to call himself a leader. Because the people that he is supposed to lead, like the first people he was supposed to lead, he did good with. The proof is in the fruit. But you're only looking at one piece of fruit, okay? And you're looking at one piece of fruit who removed herself from the tree. Because the tree is dead. The tree is dead. Here's the plot twist, y'all. You're going to have to remove yourself. You're going to have to separate yourself. You can't wait until this magic day when God separates everybody in from the wheat from the chaff and the wheat from the tares and all of that stuff. No, you're going to have to separate yourself. You're going to have to remove yourself from toxic situations because your presence is making it look like it's not toxic. Like, it's making it look like it's all good. And that's what I was realizing, that my presence here is making this look like it's all good. It's making it look like there's not a demonic force, a demonic leader over this whole thing. And how can anything under this leader, this head, how can anything under him thrive and flourish if he himself is not right. So my first act of removing myself from the tree was when I left. I went into the military, went to school, did the things. And even after that, I was like, went to school, all that. Even after that, it wasn't enough. I was like, I gotta go. I have to physically distance myself. Went into the military. Then I got sick. And I had to come back. I didn't have to come back, but I came back. Okay. And that was another thing. I don't regret coming back. But I do feel like it was a manipulation tactic that my father used to get me back here. I didn't feel like it would be beneficial for me or my kids to come back. But once I looked at it like in its entirety, even despite what my father said, and he said, God said, you need to move back, you need to help us build a church and all that stuff. So I came back with that mindset, okay, like I'm sick now, I've been medically retired from the military, and so I can no longer do what I did before. So now I'm going to have to go back home, meaning just come back to this area. I didn't actually move back in with my parents or anything like that, but I moved back to Alabama, and then I enrolled in school to get my second master's degree. Because I was like, okay, if I'm working a sedentary job like counseling is, like I'm just really just sitting here listening to people, helping people work through their issues and all that good stuff that counselors do. It didn't seem like it was anything too strenuous, anything that was really gonna hinder me from being able to do it, like in the military. But so I moved back with the mindset, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna study counseling, I'm gonna use that to further help build the church. I believe in the ministry. I see God can do some really great things here in Anniston, and God can use this church to just help do things, make things better, whatever. But then, like when I got back, then I realized, whoa, like this is not only bad, but this is demonic, right? This isn't right on so many levels. And then so I started seeing the discrepancies in the Bible and the things that my father was teaching and what the Bible said. I started seeing like discrepancies in how he treated people, like his fraudulent behavior, his desire to get over on people. He always had this, I want to get over. And it was like, you getting over on people that are like closest to you. These are people who love you. Like, you shouldn't be trying to get over on us.